Hello, everyone. You weren't expecting that, was you? There we go. We've got audio. We are here. This is House Flipper 2. I am back tonight for another stream. So, without any further ado, we're going to get on with it. I hope everyone out there has had a good day. This feels a little bit weird to be doing. If you hear any echoiness in the background, I have, since I streamed, well, I've streamed a couple of times here, but I did a stream not so long ago, and it was here, but basically this past April I moved house, and my living room is huge, and it's got quite a bit of an acoustics to it. So, yeah, if you hear any echoiness, that what be going down. So tonight we're going to go on the summer house with a pool. Haven't streamed this house, wanted to do it for such a long time. So let's go to it. And we're just going to do a basic restoration on this one. See what we can get done tonight. Also, I'm noticed looking at my channel on my monitor, what I'm monitoring on, and see that I've got 493 subscribers. So I'm nearly at 500 subscribers. So thank you guys for that. It took a long while to get there. Even when I haven't been streaming, there's been people sort of like still coming in and accessing my content, which is, it means a lot. It really does. So yeah, I'm going to be, well, I'm eternally grateful for that one. I really am. Considering I haven't been here much. Through one reason and another. But yeah, I'm hoping the rest of my crew is going to come in tonight and have a little watch, have a little chat, you know, see what we got going on. I've got 2 people watching now. So let's see what is happening. So yeah, I've decided to come on and do this. I've wanted to do this house for a little while and see how we get on with it. So yeah, I've done it a couple of times in, you know, just fucking around with it basically, but never really sort of like coming on to do a stream with it. So I thought, let's do something like that. Let's, you know, make it so it's, you know, make something out of it. So we've got a garage here. A lot of shit stored in here, but this is going to be another room. Hello, Pam. Pam's Game TV has come in. She says hello. What's good? Welcome, welcome. Fantastic to see you. So, yes. I might do something with this, make it into another room of the house. But yeah, we're just basically just doing, you know, just a little resto on this. There's a lot to be done. The thing what concerns me about this place is out here, and look at that. Pam says, what a surprise. Well, Pam, Boston's not here yet, but be surprised no more. I'm back. Okay? I am making it official now. I am back. Now, it's not going to be every night. It could probably maybe like once or twice a week, you know, or basically whenever I feel like doing a stream, I'll do it. But I am back. So get ready for the rants, get ready for all of the talking points and stuff, which we do have a couple of tonight, because it's here and it's back. No need to thank me. I've been mulling this over for quite some time. Should I? Shouldn't I? And I thought, well, you know, especially on YouTube, I've got 2 amazing friends on there, and I kind of like in a way, I miss hanging out with me mates as well. So, you know, it's all good. A lot has happened. A hell of a lot has happened, but we all know the reason why I quit. It was to spend more time with my wife. Well, she is in a very, very good place right now. Her diabetes is pretty much non-existent now. Your last game, trees were falling. Oh, God. Well, let's just hope that doesn't do that now on this. But yeah, it's all good. We're here and we're back. So yeah, she's doing well. I'm really proud of her, how far she's come. There was a bit of a scare with me the last, well, couple of weeks ago. We thought I might have it. We thought I might be diabetic. So I've been to the doctors. I've had a blood test. It's all good. I do not have it. And it was my wife that made me go to the doctors. And I thank her for doing it, because I tend to like to bury my head in the sand a bit when it comes to that. You know, I don't sort of like want anything, you know, to be, you know, have something like that, especially. But no, they did basically a full blood MOT on me, so I'm good. Yeah. So, like I say, we do have a couple of talking points tonight. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But expect House Flipper, expect Train Sim World from me, expect WWP, you know, expect everything that you saw before, and maybe I might even slip in the odd new game here and there. Will I be playing Sex Shop Simulator? I don't know if I can get away with it. But if I ever decide one night to do a Twitch stream, that might be there. And yeah, I kind of started watching Twitch again after all this while. And I went on there last night and I loved it, and it was magical and one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. It was just, how can I describe it? It was, oh, there we go. That's the best way I can describe it. So yeah. But no, there's it's still, I've noticed last night on Twitch, it's changed a lot since I went on there last. I mean, I couldn't fucking remember my password, so I created a whole new Twitch account, which I'm going to link to my PlayStation to. I'm also might be changing the name of my channel here. You've got 123 subscribers. That is absolutely fantastic news, Pam. Keep doing it. Keep climbing. And then you mean fuckers out there, what are you doing? Get Pam some more subs. What's the matter with you? You know. But yeah, I think the last time I was on here, we spoke about scammers and scams and stuff. Well, all I can really say on that one is it hasn't fucking changed. You're more than welcome, Pam. It hasn't changed. And if I'm completely honest, I no longer give a shit. You know, I don't care about it. I just don't fucking care anymore. You can try all you want, but if people don't want to listen to you, people don't want to fucking listen to you. So at the end of the day, as I always say, let them fucking get on with it. You know, if they take you for all, if they take them for all the money, then so fucking be it. I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. And you know, that is sort of like, you know, one of the talking points really tonight that brings me to, which is stress. You find it in everyday life. It's one of those things that, you know, you always hear people, oh, I'm so stressed today, I'm so stressed today, and what they're stressed about is nothing to get stressed over. But it can cause mental health problems, it can cause all sorts of things, and I recently have had someone go into hospital, and exactly, Pam, and you know, they're okay, but sort of like they're asking me, you know, there was people in my family, like sisters and stuff, going asking me to go stay with this person for a while, so like just a couple of 3 days to stay with them, and I can't. I literally can't. And tonight I've basically been, tonight because I can't go and stay with them, I've been called selfish by my sister. And the only reason that she's calling me selfish is because I won't go and do this thing for a couple of hours on Friday. And she can't, and she'll have to rearrange getting her fucking shopping in. That's all she's fucking thinking about, not thinking about me or anything. and what I've got to go through now. My son is not well. He's got a lot of mental health issues. He's actually in therapy. He's 14 years old and he's in fucking therapy. And I've got him to think about. I've got, also he did a P test down the doctors and he's had to repeat it twice because the doctors have found something, but we don't know what it is. So yeah, that's a bit of a bother, but as long as you're going to find that, in life, there are some people who genuinely care about you and some people who don't. And that can be stressful as well. The stress that they bring, the stress that they can bring to you. For instance, being told that, number one, that I'm selfish. If I call them and say what the fuck you want, I really, really couldn't give a shit. At the end of the day, if I can't do something, I can't fucking do it. I can't wave a magic fucking wand and, be there for other people. I just can't do it. And, I've got a lot going on here at the moment. Physically, I'm fine. Mentally, I'm fine. But it's just sort of like, it does stress me out sometimes. Actually, I'll be completely honest with you. When anyone bangs on about it to me, I'm feeling myself get instantly fucking angry. Because if I would, I could, but I can't, And, it's not helpful when I get a family member call you fucking selfish over WhatsApp, just because it doesn't convenience them. And that's what I find, It doesn't matter what I've got planned. It don't matter what, anything else like that. It don't matter if I'm doing something, whatever. You've always got to drop your plans for some fucker else, Just to make their life easier, you have to, do yours. Now, okay, yeah, this is one of my sisters saying it. It's family. I get that. But this is family who sort of like, I've got 3 sisters, right? And I love them all dearly. I really do, right? But it seems like because I don't know if it's because they have the same dad and I've got a different dad, but it seems like I'm the outcast when it comes to that. I feel, they take the piss sometimes. One of them don't take the piss so much. One of them thinks she's a hippie. That's quite a funny thing. But they all, she always, she's the sort who will get on at you, but shows a bit of respect as well. And then I got another one who sort of like, can't be dealing with anybody else's bullshit and just lets you get on with it. But then there's this other one who, if you can't convenience her, then, and I feel pushed out. When I'm with all 3 of them, like, we had to go to hospital. I had to meet 2 of my sisters at one of them's house a few weeks ago to go up hospital because basically my mum went into hospital about 3 or 4 weeks ago with diverticulitis, and she had to have a emergency operation, and we didn't know if she was going to make it through or not. So I had to meet my sisters. We all had to be up there. We were at the hospital all day. And by 8 o'clock at night, I had to leave because I had to be getting home. But sort of like, my mum's okay. My mum's fine. She's now got a stoma bag and is doing really well. But because I can't be there for her, I'm selfish. Well, I have, I've got kids to look after. I've got a home to run. I've got a wife to look after. I can't be everywhere at once, But to them, well, to her, I can. Basically, to her, all I do all day is sit on my arse doing nothing. And that, well, I've got kids to take to school. She's got 2 kids, 2 younger kids as well. And fucking, But her kids take themselves off to school, bring themselves home. One of hers gets a taxi, one of mine gets a taxi, but the other one has to be picked up. My son's taxi in the morning picks him up later than it did because they got two more people to pick up as well along the way. So he gets picked up last and he gets picked up later. And fucking you know, I don't sort of like, you know, I can't take my daughter to school and fucking look out for his taxi at the same time. If I had, you know, his taxi arrives and then I've got like 5 minutes to get my daughter to school and that's a 15-minute walk. I can't do it, you know, but because it doesn't convenience her, you know, then it doesn't matter. I can only do so much. I'm not fucking Superman. I don't have a fucking cape, but you know, and then that's where the stress comes. But I've recently found it, very, very recently, and I saw your comment, Pam. How is your mum? I hope she's okay. You know, I recently found myself going from 0 to fucking angry in, you know, a fucking, well, click of a finger. Yeah, I know. You know, I've been ringing my mum. Okay, yeah, sure. I admit, I did originally say I'd go and look after my mum for a couple of days, but this was all before this all came up with my, the things that are going on with my son right now. And she may be my mum, but he's my boy, and you know, he's ADHD as it is, and I can't leave my wife to deal with that in the house and everything, you know. So that's why I literally can't do these things. But apparently, I'm selfish. Oh bless. We had someone recently. I really can't say anything too much about it, but we had something like that recently as well, Pam. And for us, it didn't work out so good. So I'm praying for you. You know, but what is the point in getting stressed out about stuff? Why do it? Why, you know, why have all of this stress in your life? And, you know, people stress you out. Day-to-day shit stresses you out, you know. And it really, really does. There ain't no bullshit here, you know. It really does. Day-to-day stuff can really, really stress you out. For instance, bills coming in. Don't know if you can pay them or not. Then you got kids to think about. Then you got sort of like you know, then they need all back to school stuff. They need shoes. They need clothes. They need this, that, and the other. Then you've got to think about shopping prices and feeding yourself and stuff. And with food prices the way they are right now, I don't know how anybody can fucking afford to eat, if I'm completely honest. You know, it's all, you know, things are out of control, astronomical. And, you know, that's also another stressor right there, you know. But I don't think I'm being unreasonable by not going to stay. I don't think, you know, it isn't sort of like that I don't want to. It's like I can't. But, yeah, basically I was called selfish tonight. This is a sister who has helped me out in the past, I will admit. When my wife was in hospital, I went and stayed with her for a few days, and until my wife was better to come home, and then sort of like, and I appreciate that, and I'll always remember that and always be thankful for that. I really will. You know, it doesn't go unnoticed. But when sort of like when sort of like, because it's not convenience and her and I can't help out, you know, at the end of the day, when I went up to her, I basically went up there for a couple of days, and yeah, you know, I even gave her some money to help her out. You know, I wasn't forced to. She didn't really want to take it, but I fucking made her. because, you know, I was basically there. I was eating her food and stuff. She's got kids to look after and stuff, you know, and I understand what that's like. But I'm not, you know, gonna, you know, I'm not gonna be being called selfish. I mean, I'm not. I will give. I will do. If I was selfish, I wouldn't be fucking streaming. I'm sharing, basically, you know, gaming with the world. Basically, you know, I'm doing something here. How's that selfish? If I was selfish, I'd say, oh well, fuck it, and I'll just play it all to myself, and you know, and everything like that. You know, and it's stressful. You know, what you go through in daily life is really fucking stressful. I can't be dealing with that shit. You know, I'm finding myself getting more and more fucking angry. You know, and that's not good. I know it's not good. You know, I've got things that I'm trying to do myself. Yeah, I might not be diabetic, but I am trying to lose a little bit of weight. I will admit I do like my sweet stuff, and I do like my fucking, you know, fat laden stuff, which is never a good thing, I know, but if they're going to stress me out, my fear is I'm going to comfy and get fucking bigger. You know what I mean? Plus, I've got mental health issues as well. But none of anything what I'm going through or anything that I can or can't do matters. It always has to be about the other person. It always has to be about what conveniences them. Well, it's only one of my sisters doing it at the moment anyway. So, and I know she doesn't watch this because she doesn't really watch YouTube, but to that sister, I do love you dearly, but go fuck yourself. At the end of the day, I don't care. I do not give a shit. Oh, I know, Pam. I know. You know, I'm doing the best, you know, I can't just sort of like drop everything all the time, you know? I've spent a lot of money going up to my mum recently with the whole her being messed up by a scammer and everything, even though she hasn't learned from it. You know, I've still sort of like, you know, there's been a lot going on, but hey, everything's my fault, right? I'm the bad guy, right? You know, I can't, you know, I'm a selfish cunt. No, I'm not. I just can't do it. But as I say, it doesn't really matter because it's not conveniencing them, you know? Because sort of like I can't agree to do something, you know, then, you know, and it's all about her going and getting her fucking shopping. You know, my mum even messaged me later because my sister told her that basically I like how my mum put this. My sister told me off. My mum said, please, it's got nothing to do with me. I messaged my mum back earlier and I said, don't worry about it. I know it's got nothing to do with you. And I explained why. And although I can't go and stay, my mum may be a little bit disappointed because, yes, I originally said I would. But she seems to be cool with it. You know, she's got people going in. She has nurses going in. She has carers going in. She has, you know, things like that. My sister's going in every day to deal with the dogs because my mum's not well enough to take them for a walk at the moment, you know. But there you go. It's all the fucking, you know. And Pam says, don't blame yourself. I'm not blaming myself at all. Far from it. I think that the way I see it is, you know, I can't do it. Accept it. And if you can't accept it, don't talk to me. Simple as that, really. You know, I haven't got to justify myself to anybody. I haven't got to, you know, do anything which I'm, you know, told or anything. So why don't, you know, so lay the fuck off me because it's not my problem. I can't do it, you know. But it isn't just that. And you'll find mostly it's family that will stress you out. Money is another one. Fucking hell, money is another one. Your mum's been suffering since just before Christmas. Fucking hell. I remember you saying something about that. yeah, that's not good. I truly do hope she makes a full recovery and everything. I know she may be on end of life care, but all I can really say for that is I will pray for her. You know, I will pray for her and pray for you as well. And I hope that I hope no matter what happens that you can find peace and with it and stuff. And it's not a nice thing to happen, but this is the card that life deals you, and you just got to find your own way of dealing with it. But yeah, it's not good. But I will pray for your mum. God bless her. You're more than welcome, Pam. You know that. But yeah, I'm you know, I I just don't know anymore. I mean, my ones earlier, because like I said, I was called on WhatsApp, and then sort of like she said, "Can you come up? Can you come up on Friday and stay with Mum a little bit because I need to go shopping?" And I was just like, "No, I can't." Reason I can't, my wife has a diabetes appointment. Although she's really in a good place, I still go to them with her. I've been to every single one of them with her since she's come out of hospital. I do not let her go on her own. I won't. That's for my peace of mind, because if you'd have seen me how I was, you wouldn't have fucking recognized me. I wasn't just scared. I was fucking terrified. But, anxiety, trust me, anxiety's a fucking bitch. It really is. That's another stressful thing like that right there. So like when someone is in hospital or, anything, life has a way of kicking you in the nuts and squeezing them and saying, right, motherfucker, cough up. It really does. And sort of like, a care home costs $2,000 a week. Fucking hell. I hope they're a good one, because fucking, I've seen the way some of them staff treat their patients. It's fucking disgusting and outrageous. So I hope, it's really bad how they treat them. My mum's in good spirits though. My mum is okay. She's in a good place. She's. It's going to take her a few more weeks to recover. Of course it is. But at the end of the day, she's. I've just told her I can't be there, but I'll ring you. I'm going to ring her. I'm going to literally video call her 4 times a day, starting from tomorrow. I'm going to ring her in the morning, lunchtime, tea time, and before I go to bed to make sure she's okay. Now, that's all I can do. That to me is the next best thing to be in there, Oh, she is fighting, bless her. Yeah, she is fighting. She's doing a fucking, honestly, an insanely good job. I didn't know and she's been through such a fucking lot within a year, medically, not just sort of like the scammer and all that shit, medically as well as anything else. She has been through so fucking much. She's had, that don't look right, fuck it. Right. She's had fucking, this car accident she was in last November, because she has osteoporosis, fractured all of her ribs and a collapsed lung. She fought through that. Then a few weeks before she got this diverticulitis problem, she was in there because she had kidney stones. They had to go in and get them out. She recovered from that, came back fighting, and then the diverticulitis attack. So she's been through a fair amount of shit recently. Yeah. Oh yes, Pam. Oh yeah. It's you know, it's not very good, but I can only do what I can. And you know, I'm not going to let my sister stress me out, because basically she's she might be doing the most for my mum, and that I do appreciate. But I'm not fucking letting her stress me out. There is no fucking way I'm letting that happen. She doesn't have the right for it, but I was just so angry and so pissed off earlier. I mean, the words that were coming out of my mouth earlier should not be heard by fucking human ears. That's how pissed off I was. And if anybody out there knows me, they know what I'm fucking like, and that I don't give a shit. You know, I don't give two fucks what comes out of my mouth. And the way I see it is, if people don't like it, well, they know what they can do. And you know, I was so seethingly fucking angry earlier, but I'm calm. You know, I am relaxed and Pam. That's why I'm doing this. I thought I'd come back to YouTube because I missed it. I did miss it. But I also started to learn to enjoy my own company as well. That's why I'm not going to be an every nighter, like a couple of times a week, maybe, that kind of thing. You know, I'm going to make the most of my fucking PSN anyway. So yeah, you know, it's not going to be a big thing. You know, I'm just coming on. As far as subscribers go, I'm not too fussed about it. As far as views, it doesn't really bother me. All I want to do is come out, chill out on here, and have. You're glad I missed it. All I want to do is come out on here and chill with me mates. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what I'm going to fucking do. You know. So there you go. A garage converted into a fucking bedroom. Take a look at that. Fuck me. Right. Okay. We've still got some shit to do. There's a bathroom here that's seen better days. We could always quickly revamp this. Like I say, I've still been playing Flipper. I've been playing fucking all sorts of stuff. Train Sim World, I'm still playing that. Train Sim World 5. Do you know what? I just bought Train Sim World 5 on fucking offer a few weeks ago, and then I find out the 30th of this month they're releasing Train Sim World fucking 6, and I'm like, for fuck's sake! What I want these video game designers to do who do Train Sim, right? They seem to cover all these different routes and stuff. I want them, because they do English routes, I want them to do the London Liverpool Street to Norwich line, because if they do that, that goes through where I live. That's the train I have to get when I want to go to Norwich, which is a city not too far away from me. And yeah, that's basically. I'd love them to do that. That'd be so fucking cool. It really would. I'd just sort of like stop off. If they ever fucking do put that line in there, I'm streaming that fucker straight away. Make no mistake. That is going to be streamed immediately. It's just, you know, it's just brilliant. I don't go on. I do play it properly sometimes, but I just like to speed. You know, I've also been playing some of the old truck driving games lately as well, the ones that you've seen a couple of times before. I go over the speed limit on there as well. As long as you get the things to the destination, who gives a shit, right? So yeah. But yeah, a lot has been going on. A hell of a lot has been going on. I will not let them stress me out. I will not let them tell me what the fuck to do. Because, as I previously stated, you know, Boston's missed me. Oh man, I missed him too. As I previously stated, you know, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to fucking, you know, all the bullshit, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm done with caring. But yeah, oh man, I didn't know Boston missed me that much. He didn't say anything. But yes. But ever since we moved in here, I have done a couple of streams here. I did the one for Hogan, I did the one for Ozzy, and I did the one for talking about scammers and stuff. So yeah, it's been It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but apart from being stressed out in life and stuff, it hasn't been too bad. I've been, I'm loving my new house. Love it so fucking much. I really do. It's lovely living here. We've got a lovely neighbour who lives next door. She is, she's an older lady, but do you know what? She's awesome. She's helped me get rid of some boxes. Yeah, we got the house, and I love this place. If I put it this way, a lot of people's dream is to win the lottery and buy a house. Do you know what? I would do that, but if I bought a house, that'd be the one I'm in right now. I absolutely adore this house. I really do. My living room is so fucking big. It really is. I mean, you can see this house it's an old house. I looked it up online. My house was built between 1950 and 1966. And it used to have at the wall where I'm sitting right now, behind me, the little bit here used to be a dining room. There used to be a hatch going into the kitchen, but that's all been covered up. And there's what used to be a one room has been knocked into two. So I've got a fucking humongous living room. And the best part of it is my living room is at the back of my house. So whereas at the other house, I'd sit there and you'd see people walking past all the time. I don't see that anymore. I look out the window and I can see my garden. And it's just fucking wonderful here. I love it. It's the best. That was fucking clever of me. But yeah, just really, really happy to be here. And I'm loving every second of it. I mean, my front garden is fucking humongous as well. Oh my God. I've already had a word with one of the neighbours about that. There's this neighbour who lives over the back. I've got one next to me. I'm in an end house again, but I've got one next to me, and I've got one who's like over the back of the garden. And they seem to be, I can't say rough, but they seem to be a bit untidy. Their garden at the front is a fucking disgrace. But she reckons, she likes to grow trees. I am going to grow some fruit and veg. Yes, I am. I'm planning on doing that next year. Yeah, the neighbour who I got over the back likes to grow trees and stuff. Excuse me. And about a week after we moved in here, I saw her, and she brought these bikes round to the front where my garden is and left them on my front grass. So I went out there and I said to her, what do you think you're doing? You're leaving bikes on my front lawn. And she says, well, it's not yours, is it? It's the council's. I said, no, it's fucking mine. She was trying to be sort of like, sarky with it, so I gave it fucking back tenfold. And so I was like, no, it's fucking, it's my fucking lawn. And she said, well, is it okay if I leave them there? I let her off, and I said, yeah, this once. And then she said, well, can we share it? Can we share the front? And I was like, no, you're not going to turn mine into a fucking, a fucking thing. But I did agree to let her grow a couple of trees there and stuff. So, yeah, she's done that. She's put all these plants fucking there. So when I cut, but I don't cut her piece, what I've agreed to let her grow the trees on. I just cut mine. But it's still fucking massive, nonetheless. And that's not even one of the talking points tonight. We're getting on to that. But slowly but surely, the world has a way of pissing you off. How the fuck did that happen? Oh, okay, I'm just going to put that out there and we'll forget the thing even happened. I want that. So, yeah. But, yeah, the next talking point tonight is going to be taxi companies. Oh, this is one of them rant ones, make no mistake. So, where I live, there is, and I'll tell you what, I'll even stop playing for a second. I'll grab my phone and I will count the number of taxi services in my area. Yeah, maybe he'll still see it later, and I'll probably drop him a message after stream if he doesn't come in. Right? So I'm still here. I might not be playing at the moment, but I'm still here, right? And I'm going to Google the amount of companies that are in the area where I live, especially in the town where I live. So if I go like this and I hit there, okay, there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's recount them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That one would come here, so 11. I've seen that one about 12. 13. Haven't heard of that one. I'm going to call it about 13. All right? 13 taxi companies. Now, why is it there's 13 taxi companies? Hardly any of them have got any fucking cars to do anything with. And so therefore are, in my view, declared a bit fucking useless. Yeah. How does that make any sense? They've never got a car. They've never got. There's all them companies, and there's one bloke who's does a company here, right? It's only him and one car. Ridiculous. So, the other week I wanted to go and see my mum. She'd just come out of hospital. It was like last week. We went to visit her for the day at home, and I thought the best thing I'm going to be able to do is get a taxi to her and there. Now, I booked a taxi from Norwich, which is the city, and by road, that's about an hour away from me, right? I booked a taxi. For me to go to her, cost £44. For me to come home, direct from her door to my door, £43.50, right? Which is quite good. If I was to get one of the taxis that's based in the town where I live, it's going to cost me £58 each way. And with the taxi company I booked from Norwich as well, you can always get a cab. In where I live, in not so much. Not so much at all. It's ridiculous. Now, that being said, the taxi companies that I used from Norwich kind of pissed me off a bit. Now, they really, really need to have training in the English language, because I basically said my address to them. They booked it, right? They booked it. But they booked it from a road with the same name in Norwich. They thought it was a Norwich pickup. It's not. What the fuck? You know, I mean, seriously? So I had to phone them 2 or 3 different times to get it changed. So they picked me up from my address and dropped me off at my address, not somewhere where I don't fucking live. Ridiculous. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. But I've done that a few times, come home direct from my mum's from taxi. And I've got to say, it might take an hour, but it works out to be, I mean, it's direct. There's no fucking around. It's direct. I will take the train occasionally. Sure, I will. I don't mind a train ride. I quite like going on the train. But when sort of like, you know, I can get this done quicker, then I'm going to do it, you know. And it's nice. The taxi company is really nice. They have some weird music on the radio sometimes, but apart from that, it's really nice. And the price, like I said, the price is actually pretty damn good, considering where I'm going to and coming from, you know. But taxi companies, especially where I live, Got to be stepping that game up. You know, it's ridiculous that you cannot get a cab, even to do something as simple as bring you back from fucking Aldi after you've done your shopping. You know, you always get, so no matter who you ring up, they might say, oh no, I ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing. No, you know why, don't you? That's the old people. It's the old people with fucking doctor's appointments and shit. You know, taking and booking up the taxis. That's what it is. They're beating us to it. They're being a bit clever about it, right? And yeah, but even to bring you back, you know, it's sort of like, I can't do that. I can do this time or I can do that time. Whatever. Not too concerned about that. You know, it's bloody ridiculous, though. You know, how are these taxi companies surviving? Oh, well, I know how they're surviving by how the fucking much money they're charging, which is fucking ridiculous. You know, that's absolutely outstanding. You know, service though the Norwich taxi is. I gotta say, I do recommend them, but they really need to start fucking listening when you're speaking. That caused me another thing that caused me a little bit of stress there. There you go. Blend the fuckers into one, both the talking points. But yeah, I am, apart from that, I am honestly so happy to say that I'm back. I might be changing the name of the channel. If I do, I'm going to be changing it to Flawless Andrew. Okay, so if you see it's changed at some point, then you know that's what I'm doing. It's only an idea at the moment. I might just go ahead with it, but if you sort of like, you know, you've been saving this up. Pam, I've been doing so much. Oh, mate, seriously, I can't, you know. But yeah, I am back as a YouTuber. The YouTube universe wins. What the fuck am I writing House Flipper in for? You know, the YouTube universe wins. I'm back. They needed the savior back. That's what it is. They needed the savior. So I am here to save YouTube from duff content. What can I say? So yeah. But no, I truly am happy to be back. I'm happy to be, you know, back to chill, have a chat, have a rant, you know, try and remember what the rules were, things I can and can't say. But no, with Christmas coming up as well, I honestly can't see sort of like how I can go a year without doing a Christmas stream. I'm not saying that it's going to be, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be like fucking 3 streams in one night. But honestly, I might do it. I might do a two streamer in a night this year. But that's just how that's just one thing I've been thinking about doing. But yes. Pam says, I was so stressed the other day, whacked the whole house down and called it How to Relieve Stress. Do you know what? I don't bloody blame you. You do. You do. The thing is, you go through stress every single fucking day of your life, in some way, shape, or form. And there's always somebody out there trying to fucking stress you out. In my case, well, I've told you tonight what it is, and you know, beforehand, I'm like, I shouldn't really say that. I give 2 fucks if my sister sees this or not. She won't, I know. But I seriously give 2 fucks if she sees it or not. I really don't care. I feel like when I'm around all 3 of them anyway, I feel like I'm pushed out, like I'm the outcast anyway. That's good, Pam. I'm glad it worked out. You know, I feel pushed out, the outcast and stuff like that. Like I'm not meant to be there, you know? But when they want me, when they want something out of me, oh, there you go. And when I don't do it, I'm selfish. I go by, treat people how they treat you. If they don't have anything to do with you, don't have anything to do with them. If they, are the sort of people who come to you only when they fucking want something, then, well, they're not really worth it then, are they? But if it's family, it's a little more difficult. If it's like somebody who's a friend who turns out to be a bit of a fucking user, and my, oh, my, oh, my, if I had some of them, then sort of like, it's not worth the hassle. But when it's something to do with family, it's a little harder to deal with because obviously you can't really get away from it all that much. But the way I see things is this, and this is my top tip. If anyone in your family is stressing you out, whether you get on with them or not, if they stress you out that much and they only want you to convenience their lives, you have two middle fingers, use them, and there's a magical term that was invented years ago that you can say to them. It's called fuck off. Simple as that. That's where I'm at. That's where that's how I feel. I don't really care anymore. I've actually feel that I've grown a bit since I've I feel like I've grown a bit since I've moved into this house. At the other house, it was fucking stress fucking city. It was not a very nice place to be, if I'm completely honest, some of the time. Whether you're hearing the neighbours that have sex of fucking, fucking through the wall on a Saturday night, or if you're hearing someone go down the bottom of their garden, during the summer months, being out there, and you can't even go in your garden without someone fucking talking to you. Here, I can go out in my garden and no motherfucker's going to talk to me. My living room's at the back. My back door is in my living room to my garden. It's fucking fantastic. So to the people, this house needed a bit of work before I moved into it. So to the people who didn't want to wait for it, who must have got offered it before, thank you. Thank you for being a fucking impatient cunt. Because you got me a fucking house that I absolutely fucking love. Honestly. I know we probably won't get too many more of them days right now, but during the summer months, because the room's so big, it stayed cool. This room stayed cool. Yeah, sure, it got a little bit warmer. But the room stayed so nice and cool. It really did. It was fucking beautiful in here. I even slept down here a couple of nights on the sofa just to, because it was just so nice being here. And the way the sun comes in and lays in this room in the mornings is fucking gorgeous. It really is. It's the little things, but my God, they make a big difference. Can't stop laughing now. Well, I'm happy to see I haven't lost the old spark. That's good. But yeah. Oh, God. I'll tell you one thing, though. The old housing association was shit. Because they would sort of, when we moved out, I'll tell you one thing that happened to me, right? This is quite a funny story. Amen to that, Pam. Why is it turning the light on in here? That's weird. Oh, here you go. These ones are on now. That sucks. That needs more lights. Right, I'm going to duplicate them. Right. So, when I first moved into here, number one, I was happy to get away from the fucking shagging neighbours, and also the coffin fits, what are masqueraded as laughing. But I was also happy, to get away from the housing association, which the housing association we were with there fucking sucks. So one thing that happened when we were moving, right? This is quite funny. My wife had this thing on the wall that had no real fixtures on the back, couldn't hang it or anything, but you can see it was made to go on the wall, and she used it to hang her necklaces in or off, right? So what I did is I thought, right, I'll put it up with no more nails. And I put it up with quite a lot of no more nails on a plasterboard wall. So when it came time to move house and she wanted that taken down, I couldn't pull it off. So I got a screwdriver behind it and levered it off a little bit. And I thought, right, that should come now. Oh, yeah, it came off and took a massive chunk of the wall with it. I'm not even joking. It took a fucking huge chunk of the wall with it. It's like if you spread your hand out, and like you're holding, like you're trying to hold a watermelon with one hand, kind of like that kind of, and that fills your hand, that's about the same sort of size chunk as what I took out. So I filled it in. I just used basic filler to fill it in, and it seems to have worked. Apparently there's people living in there now. From what I've heard, there's people living in there now. It's literally just up the road from me, but I don't go nowhere near it. I spent 14 years there, 14 years putting up with other people's shit there. And now I'm away from there. I don't want to go back. When we had to go for an inspection when we, so they could have a look around and tell us what would need doing and if we'd need to pay for any repairs or anything like that. And we was told, and this is ridiculous, right? He was walking around and saying, well, the new owners, the new tenants, we'll decorate it basic anyway, but the new tenants will decorate it how they want, just as you always do in a new home. Well, bear that in mind when I say this next bit. He said we might have a bit of a problem with the wallpaper. And I went, what do you mean? He goes, the wallpaper, we generally don't do wallpaper, And I thought, well, you just said a minute ago that the new tenants can decorate it however they want. And basically, they wanted us to take the wallpaper down. We already lived here, so I didn't care. I told him in no uncertain terms that he can go fuck himself, and I'm not taking the wallpaper down. That wallpaper that was up in that house was there when we moved in. It was in good condition. It weren't a bad wallpaper, so we kept it. And never really decided to decorate hall, stairs, and landing because there was honestly no need to. So, yeah. And as far as I know, they've either painted over it or took it down. But yeah, and apparently they might have charged us for it. We haven't had any fucking letters come through saying they've charged us for it. I doubt they even know where we moved to. So that's another fucking upside. Still got our phone numbers though. They could ring up and ask, "Hello, we need some money out of you." Yeah, go fuck yourself, cunts. But where we live now is absolutely fucking brilliant. It really is. And I weren't too happy a few weeks ago though. We had people out here doing gas works, all digging up the fucking roads. They dug up my fucking front path. And had to come into the house and stuff to do all these different fucking gas works and stuff. Thankfully, that's over now, but that was a bit of a pain in the arse. But, yeah. A lot has happened. So much has happened. Whether it be family, whether it be moving, anything like that. Let's put this fucker on. There we go. Yeah. It's been a trip. I'm not going to lie. It has been a fucking trip. And yes, it has been so fucking stressful as well. But worth it. This move in here was one of them moves that was a bit awkward. But also so worth it as well. And all without a removal van. I literally live About 5 minutes away from where I used to live. It's not as it's pretty much on the same road. You just got to come out of my driveway where I am now. Oh, Pam, trust. Oh, it's real. You know it. You know it for a fact. It's real, right? You come out of my driveway, go up the road, follow the road round, go up one road, turn into another one, and you're literally there, right? That's where I used to live. Now, and we didn't have a removal van. And you're thinking, well, how the fuck did you get all your stuff down to your new house? Simple. Bicycle trailers, which one of them died at the end of it. Oh, Pam, no way, you're not alone, trust me. Right? Bicycle trailers and sack barrows. Got my stuff here. Walking, biking them down. I'll tell you, it was... At one point, I thought this is a pain in the arse. I'm never going to get it done. But nope, I got it done. I fucking made sure it was done. I admit we did have a little bit of help from a friend of the family. More like a friend of my sister. He came up and he helped bring some stuff down. He did sort of like a couple of carloads for us, but the rest of it, I got down here on my own. My TV came down on a sack barrow. My fucking wash machine did. My tumble dryer did. My cooker is actually a new one. We actually got a new cooker. Although I didn't have to pay anything for it. My mum got me that got us that as a housewarming present. We waited so long to get this place. And now we're here. And it's just fucking brilliant. You know, that's the only really good thing to come out of 2025. And it's soon going to be, you know, what they call the most wonderful time of the year. It's not. You know, it's far from the most wonderful fucking time of the year. And that's another fucking thing, right? That's another fucking thing. Supermarkets, right? I know people are finding it harder to fucking buy stuff now, and cost of living's getting worse and worse and worse week by week, right? No worries, Pam, right? I know cost of living is bad. But how do supermarkets justify having, you know, in September, literally the week when the kids went back to school, advent calendars, Christmas chocolates, and chocolate Santa Clauses and stuff in the fucking shops in September. In September, how the hell why? It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and I know, sort of like, people think, oh, I can. I'll put them out now. The cost of living's getting bad, so if we put them out now, people will buy them ready in time before before they might think prices might go up or something like that. No. People are going to buy your stuff, but sort of like, how can they justify putting fucking Christmas stuff in a shop in fucking September when sort of like, how? I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Why would you need to do that? October, I have seen before, but not September. They're jumping a month ahead. Cheeky fuckers. Let's put this there now, so then, people can get the stuff in for Christmas. Well, it's not till fucking December. We've got a few fucking months of the year left yet. Why do you find it like you'd really, really need to put Christmas shit out, Pam says the world's nuts. Oh, believe me, it is. The world is nuts. I mean, you look at what's going on everywhere in the world right now. Cost of living doesn't affect us, it affects other people as well. But yeah, you're 100% right. The world is fucking nuts. Well, they can suck on these nuts because I'm not paying half the prices they want me to. Fuck that. Nah, don't play that game. I know, Pam, I know. We have heard about that. And it may be, honestly, it may be a thing. The way it's going and the way that the country is being run is ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the boatman because I will get on too much of a rant there and I don't want to get banned just as I make a comeback. So I'm going to keep my fucking opinion about that to myself. But, you know, it's fuck it. Everything's ridiculous. Everything's ridiculous. You know, freedom of speech is gone. We never really had it in the first place, I don't think. We don't live in a free speech country, you see. You can't say what you want. You can't protest about what you want without some cunt being sort of like, no, no, no. You know. It's ridiculous. Well, free speech does exist. Yeah. Okay, now, yeah. And free speech does exist, and you can say whatever the fuck you want. Don't be scared to. Any more, and going back to what I was talking about earlier, any more fucking shit off my sister, and she'll know what fucking free speech is because I'll be telling her to go fuck herself. Honestly, I'm not putting up with her shit. I'm not putting up with anyone's shit. You know, I've had enough to deal with. You know, and still got enough to deal with, and I don't need her shit as well, just because I can't do something for her. Also, you know, I'm on very limited money. Where does she think I can fucking keep getting the money to go and do these things for? Oh, you better believe it, Pam. You better believe it. It is looking dark, but with a little bit of light, like that one on up here, it may be okay. Path light. Why did that fuck? Do you know what? In the end, they never fixed that flickering, did they? Will that cunt switch on then or not? There you go. The old sauna's being turned into a shed. There, that can be turned into a little shed. Quite a nice size for a little shed. I ain't got a shed. I've got a side of my house where I just keep all my shit. But, you know, I hope tonight I haven't come across as a bit of a dick or an arsehole or anything. But I just thought, well, it does look a bit like a drain, doesn't it? You know, but, you know, you get it all the time from people, you know. If you can't do something for them, you know, don't bother me no more. I've said my piece. I'm going to leave it at that. And if they don't like it, well, they know what they can do. You know, it's just a fact. But yeah, I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be bringing back, there's going to be more Flipper, way more Flipper. There's going to be WWP, there's going to be Train Sim. Now, I know you are, Pam, it's all good. You know, I don't sort of like, know when after tonight when I'm going to stream, but it will be. I will try. I will do my very best to try and do another one this week. I'll try and keep it a couple of times a week. It will be more sort of along the lines of when I want to, when I feel like streaming, I'll do it. But I will try and get a couple in this week. So this is the first one. So at some point, I'll try and do another one this week. And I'll try and make it I'll try and make it not Flipper. I'll try and do like Train Sim or maybe even do a WWP show. You know, I've got some new ideas for different wrestlers and stuff. I'm still watching wrestling. You better believe I'm still watching. You know, but yeah. And I'm still that same fucking guy. I haven't changed. I haven't changed. As a matter of fact, I've got fucking worse. So there you go. But no, if I don't hear from him, Pam, I will drop him a message. But if I don't hear anything back, next time he's live or you're live, tell Boston the party's on. Tell him I'm back. No, I will never change. There's no point in changing for anything. You know. But yeah, like I say, I'll keep an eye on the channel. Just make sure you subscribe, got notifications on, you'll know when I'm live. So I'll try and do another one this week. I'll figure something out. I just don't want to... Last time I was on, I really enjoyed it, but I was sort of like... I felt it a bit, you know, sort of like stressful, if you get what I mean there, because sort of like, you know, I was thinking, right, I'm supposed to be on by this time doing this. There's no set time to when I come on. There is no set day to when I come on. I'm going to be, you know, casually doing it and getting back into it. But you better believe when you come into a, yeah, I know, yeah. How the fuck I've done that, I don't know. But you best believe that when you come into a Flawless Rage 2, Flawless Andrew, whatever I decide to go with the channel name as, then you best believe you're going to hear a lot of swearing. You're going to hear a lot of dirty, dirty things. So make sure it's okay with your woke parents to watch. You know. Because, in the words of Eminem, who my son really loves, I just don't give a fuck. But no, one thing I will be closing this off in a minute because it's been a while streaming now. How long have we been? Let's take a look. We've been going for about an hour and 13, so it won't be too much longer now. But what I will say is, bit of bad news today. We lost old Ricky Hatton, bless him. The boxer, hit a UK British boxer. He did a guest appearance on WWE Raw quite a few years ago, and he was pretty good on there. And I also watched him when he was on Dancing on Ice and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to do a silence or anything, because I'd prefer to do that sort of thing at the beginning of the show. But I will, my thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And yeah, rest in peace, mate. You're a good fighter. Poor old Ricky Hatton, rest in peace. That was a bit of a shock today, that one was. 2025 for people passing away has been a cunt. It really has. You know, I've experienced it personally in the family. And also, you know, I mean, the thing what got me, right, when it comes to that, the thing what got me is sort of like, I've been a fan of Ozzy Osbourne since I was 14 years old. I got into him because my sister was friends with this girl, and I used to go around and see this girl, and she would sort of like, at the time I had no Ozzy. I knew who Black Sabbath were, but I didn't know sort of like about Ozzy's solo career and his music and that. And she recorded CDs onto tapes for me, and she was quite hot. And she offered to fuck me once, and I didn't do it. Anyway, lifelong regrets. And sort of like, you know, I've been a fan of his, and I've basically seen him through the years, you know, look more older, look more tired and stuff, but still to have that fighting spirit, and seen clips of the Back to the Beginning show, and you know, he still had it, but, you know, God bless him. We do miss him. I love Ozzy. Absolutely love him. He was absolutely incredible. And then 2 days after him, Hulk Hogan passes away. And I'm like, what the fuck? And yeah, and I never ever, you know, I never saw that one coming. Hogan's always been the one to make these appearances and do this and do that, and you know, I mean, I think it was like last year or the year before he was, you know, became a born again Christian, which is such a wonderful thing for him, and you know, we lost him. And then sort of like there's other people passing away, and today, poor old Ricky Hatton, you know. 2025 has been a cunt. It really, really has. And personally, and sort of like, you know, with celebrity wise and stuff, yeah. But I'll tell you this right now: there is not a Saturday that goes past, because that's when I play my records. Still buying records. Don't know if I'm going to bring Vinyl Friday back, but still playing records. And every single week in this house, Ozzy's being played. Every single week, whether it be on vinyl, whether it be on cassette, whether it be on CD, whether it be on mini disc. Yeah. It's tragic. This year has been a complete fuck up. But you're gonna get these fuckers in December saying, you know, when it gets to New Year's Eve, oh, 2026 is gonna be my year. Fuck off. 2026 is going to be, why is it going to be your year, love? What, you're going to get your tits done or something? You know what I mean? Fucking, were you going to get your lips plumped and your pussy filled or something? I don't know. Pussy filling sounds quite nice, actually. But, you know, it's like, what the fuck? You know, this year has been a complete cunt. So, if I can offer a bit of light in that darkness of what the year is, then I'm all for it by bringing this back. But yeah, we've done a little bit on here tonight. Oh yeah, he's back. Here's Flawless. You know, so yeah, I'm back. I'm worse than ever, and I don't care. So there we go. That is pretty much fucking me in a nutshell. So there you have it. But yes, I am going to call it quits now. I will try to do another show at some point during this week. If I do the name change, it probably won't be this week. It might be in a couple of weeks' time. I've got to think about that. But if I do another show this week, it could be WWP, it could be House Flipper, it could be Train Sim. I could even risk Sex Shop Simulator. Who knows? But in the chat, Pam there says, thanks for streaming and welcome back. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for staying subscribed. And thank you for being a kick-ass, amazing friend. You know, you're amazing. You seriously are. Thank you so much. And to you guys out there, thank you all for these numbers subscribing to me, because I wasn't expecting that when I came on tonight. I was like, what? I hadn't really been keeping an eye on it. So, in closing here, thank you guys so much for joining me. I am back, and if you're giving me subs, then you need to go ahead and give Pam's Game TV 2000 some subs, because this lady works her ass off on House Flipper and deserves all the best and all the luck in the world. So go and subscribe to her right now. Show the love and show your support. Same with my brother from another mother, Mr. Boston Tea Party. Go subscribe to him, because he puts out incredible content, and you know, he does really, really good streams and stuff. He is my brother, so please go subscribe to Boston Tea Party and Pam. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Pam says thank you. You are more than welcome, Pam. Seriously, anything for a really good friend like you. Thank you so much. Right, guys, I am out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back at some point. And, yeah, stay good to each other all the time. And, yeah, God bless you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.